morning kids. Welcome back to the social science class. Children, in previous explanation, we have completed three physical features of India. Hope you have all revised, right? So we have northern mountains towards the northernmost region of India. Towards the south of it, we have northern plains. Further towards the southwest, we have Thar Desert, and towards the northern plains or the south of Indo-Gangetic plains, we see the region of southern plateau, which is also called peninsular plateau. Children, you all are aware that an area that is covered with three large water bodies from three sides and land from one side is called a peninsula. So as you see this map, you see that a southern plateau is covered with three sides, same large water bodies, that is Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal in the east, Arabian Sea in the west, and Indian Ocean towards the south. So it is called a peninsular plateau, and towards the north we have Indo-Gangetic plains, that is land. Now before we proceed, let us revise what is a plateau. We have already studied, isn't it? Yes, it is a land that is elevated from the surrounding area and flat at the top, just like a table. It is flat, table is flat, isn't it? So even we call it as tableland. Plateau region is also called tableland. Unlike the mountains, we see that these don't have any peaks. Mountains have peaks, but plateaus are flat at the top. In simple words, you can remember, children, it is a land with steep slopes from the sides and flat at the top. I am sure most of you might have visited Saputara, Mahabaleshwar. These regions come under plateau region. Now when we observe the map, children, we see major part of the map is colored with mustard yellow. It indicates a plateau region. Children, most of the landforms, like we have studied mountains, valleys, they were formed because of the tectonic movements of the plates under the surface of the earth. Similarly, even the southern plateau was formed because of these movements of the plates, and with the pressure of this movement there were volcanic eruptions. When there is a volcanic eruption, lava and magma comes out of the volcano, which is very hot, in a liquid form. Gradually, when it cools down, it solidifies and settles and forms a lava rock. Even we call them igneous rocks. Further, when these rocks break into soil, forming the black lava soil. Now this soil is good for cultivation of cotton and sugarcane. Children, it was not that within 1 or 2 years this plateau was formed. It took millions of years to form into a plateau. What happened? These all lava rocks, igneous rocks and soil got compiled, finally forming into a high raised land and forming a plateau region. Children, if you have studied geometrical figures of maths, you will see that this region resembles a geometrical figure, right? Yes, it is triangular in shape. So we say that a plateau region is triangular in shape. This region consists of many small and big plateaus. The southern plateau is further, we can divide into major two parts, children. Now observe this map. Towards the north of Narmada river, the Narmada river you are seeing here in Madhya Pradesh, towards the Gujarat it is flowing, and finally it ends up into Arabian Sea above the Tapi river. Even you can remember, children, that these two rivers, Narmada and Tapi, which are lying in the Deccan, lie in the southern plateau. These two are the only rivers that end up in Arabian Sea, or they drain in Arabian Sea. So towards the north of Narmada river is called the Central Highlands, and this covers most of the central part of India, and the part which is towards the south of river Narmada is called Deccan Plateau. So you can remember that Narmada divides our plateau region into two major parts, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. Now the Central Highlands are further divided into small plateaus. The major ones are Malwa Plateau, and towards the east we have eastward extension of this plateau is Chota Nagpur Plateau. So major part of the Central Highlands is made up of Malwa Plateau, children. It is made up of Malwa Plateau. That is why towards the west, this Central Highlands is broader towards the west, and it is narrow towards the east. I'll show you this map. Here you will get the idea how it looks. See, the upper part of Deccan Plateau you are seeing. This is Central Highlands. If you see this map, it will be clear. It is surrounded by Vindhya ranges, children, Aravalli ranges in Rajasthan, and little part of Satpura ranges, and lastly here towards the Chota Nagpur Plateau, these Central Highlands end up with Rajmahal Hills. They are covered with Rajmahal Hills. Now when we move towards the south of Narmada, we have Deccan Plateau. This will be more clear to you in this map, children. Narmada divides this Deccan. Below, south of Narmada river, we have Deccan Plateau. It is very big, huge plateau. And Deccan is the word derived from Dakshin, which literally means south. As it lies towards the southern part of India, we call it Deccan Plateau. This region starts from Satpura range. See, children, here Satpura is written, extending up to Kanyakumari in the southern tip, and it is surrounded by eastern ranges called Eastern Ghats from the east, and western ranges in the Western Ghats. You can remember Deccan Plateau is located between Satpura, Vindhya ranges and the eastern and western Ghats. Children, this region receives less rainfall as the Western Ghats or western mountains here, they block the southwest monsoons from reaching the Deccan Plateau. Therefore, the region is dry. This plateau slopes towards the east. Hence, the rivers that flow from this Deccan Plateau are draining into the Bay of Bengal. If you see the rivers like Mahanadi, which is flowing from Odisha, is making a delta here and ending up in Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. Mahanadi, Godavari, which flows through Andhra Pradesh, Krishna, Telangana, Kaveri, Tamil Nadu, they all drain into Bay of Bengal. And one more thing you have to remember about these rivers is, these rivers are rain fed. That means these rivers get water mostly from rain. Unlike we saw that in northern rivers, they were perennial, they were snow fed also. They used to get water even by melting of snow in summer. But here we don't have as such any Himalayan rivers are not reaching till here. So these rivers are totally depending on rain, children, and there is shortage or scarcity of water in this region during summer. So I hope the entire southern peninsula of India is clear to you. It consists India south of the Narmada river is the Deccan Plateau, forming a raised triangular land. and it is located between two mountain ranges, mainly the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Now let us know the states that come under this region, children. Mainly Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Odisha. These regions, these states are coming under our Deccan Plateau region. One more thing, children, you can remember that the highest plateau in the world, if someone asks you, you can say that the Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world, which lies in Tibet, and it is also called the roof of the world. Now, children, this plateau region is very rich in minerals. Like you see, Panna diamond mine, which is located in Madhya Pradesh. We have many iron ore and steel plants in our Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh region. We have Kolar gold mine in Karnataka. So it is, even we get manganese, mica, many minerals are there. What are their uses and where they are found? We will study in minerals chapter within in your next semester, and hope this chapter is clear to you, and keep revising, children. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.